Okay. Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Vormithrax. Still playing with technical stuff. Oh, man. Love last-minute problems. So much fun. Still think my face is too orange. Too orange! Damn camera video settings spazzing out on me at the last moment. Let's see if I can make me less orange. I can't go too high on that value. It's going to be the white balance, and that kicks in way too much per increment. We'll go right there. I still think it's too orange. That's fine. We'll deal with it. So, howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Vormithrax. Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. You know, that thing I do on Fridays for years now. We are playing the perfect pacifist male. Yeah, that's what it says right up top there. Perfect pacifist male. And we have achieved 1% carving. I'm so proud. So proud. Depressing food and 1% carving. We have won the Cataclysm. So that's us right there, hanging out on our comfortable chair, in our comfortable cabin, in our comfortable nowhere wilderness, out in the middle of a field. You know, doing the things we do. So for this challenge, we are, you know, not killing anything. We are a pacifist of the highest order. We're not killing anything. We're not causing anything to be killed. We're not through action or inaction allowing things to be killed. We're not trying to rules lawyer our way into being able to kill things through secondary or tertiary or quaternary means. So, no, I can't dig pits and accidentally kill things. I can't set fires and accidentally kill things. It was the most common thread through all the chatter in the first episode. Well, can you do this to kill things? Can you do that to kill things? What happens if you do this to kill things? No, that is not the intent. The intent is not to rules lawyer my way around my no killing restriction. We're a perfect pacifist. We're not going to use any of those methods to lawyer our way around the kill restriction. So, yeah, so far we've managed it. If we bring up our kill screen, it says, you haven't killed any monsters yet. So we've still done that. The thing that's going to end this challenge is sitting right here. This is what's going to end the challenge. I am going to accidentally run something over. I just know it's going to happen. I can pretty well control my own character movements, but when I'm driving, I tend to zoom out so I can see ahead of me, and then I can't see the little tiny things in front of me, and I know a chipmunk or something's going to jump in front of my car. It's going to be a squish, and the challenge will be over. So I both need but fear my vehicle. That's what's going on. I need but fear it. Alright, so what did we do last episode? We got quite a bit done. It's our first attempt still. We got fairly, I want to say we got lucky with the start. We started down south, right there in that evac shelter. And we did not go to visit Basra. We had no reason to go visit Basra. There was nothing interesting in Basra. We kind of worked our way north, checked out the silo, found this cabin, was pretty happy with the stuff we found here and that it is isolated. Played a little bit of tag with some zombies, and then we did a little bit of a circle around, checked that out, came down south, and we had some adventures here in Newmarket. We had some good times in Newmarket, including getting our vehicle and a few other things. Then we came back north to our camp, and there you go. I have recapped the first episode. So we're hanging out in our cabin. We just got back. I just unloaded the vehicle. We tried and failed to learn judo, and we spent like a day trying to learn it and never actually managed it. So, yeah, it's a little difficult when you have no skills of any kind, apparently, to learn, you know, judo and stuff. Hey, they changed the order of things. Things are different. Things are different. Uh-oh. Alright, so we got weapons. Apparently melee skills are now the new meta. They're on the top. Everybody needs to see those. range skills next, and they've dumped our wonderful crafting and interaction skills down to the bottom. Huh, why'd they do that? Those are good ones. I don't want this stinky melee and range skills at the top. Want a perfect pacifist run. I don't need any of that stuff. Huh. Alright, well. We'll leave things as they are, I guess. Things keep changing and getting adjusted there. So I did update my build as I usually do. I didn't see any notes about any, you know, world-destroying errors or bugs or problems. So we are fully updated. What am I on? We're on build 11131 of the experimental branch, of course. I always play experimental. Let's see. Alright, so our map, nothing too exciting in any direction. I've decided we're probably going to head north for some scouting if we do. We got some stuff we need to do here in the cabin for a bit. The goal of the challenge is basically to see how long I can last and how far I can advance the character in skills and gear and items and so on. In a cataclysm without killing anything. Nothing. So I am not going to just hide in the cabin in perpetuity. So we are going to go out and about. I am going to stick myself into dangerous situations. Because, you know, that's how the fun is. So I got to go do the fun stuff. So I could live in the cabin forever, basically, and very easily source food and never move. But that wouldn't be in any way interesting or exciting. So we're not going to do that. So we will be doing some traveling, but I do want to get some basics done and, you know, kind of poke at the proficiency system a bit. I haven't really bashed my head against that system yet. I don't think I have enough materials on hand to do it adequately either, but, yeah, we'll poke at it. We'll get a stick and we'll hit it a few times with a stick, see how it jumps, see if it bites us. I'm sure it will. So it's an unruly, vicious beast, this proficiency system. So we'll see if we can tame it. Still have minus 25 on the mouth. Can I do my balaclava now? I did get my... Yeah, I can do my balaclava. Cool. All right, so we'll do a balaclava. That'll take care of that problem. Oh yeah, gear. Here's what we're using, wearing, / have. So we've got a karate gi and a judo gi. Oh yeah. Helped me out a ton. Between the karate gi, the judo gi, and the arm guards, man, is it tough for them to get any damage through in my arms. They bit my socks. They bit my ankle, apparently. I'm assuming they bit through my ankle instead of my hiking boots, but, you know, it could have bypassed the boots. But yeah, nothing too impressive, so some light gear. And what's good is we got the full set of early tools. We got the toolbox, we got the wrench, we got the hacksaw. All that good stuff. So we've got all the tools. We've got some light capability. I don't have a lot of batteries. Here is our gear sitting next to me. I brought back a few candles that'll help. We got some music ability of a harmonica with a holder. We can play some tunes while we do some stuff. And we got the wood axe and the wood saw. So yeah, we're really sitting well for all the basic early tools. Didn't get a sewing kit or a tailor's kit, unfortunately, but that's not super important for a little while. And we've got some raw materials. Most importantly, we have boxes of brownies, so yes, we're good to go. And we have 79 protein rations. So, like I said, we could survive here in the cabin for quite a while, just eating Soylent Green protein rations. We got a few books that we can read to take advantage of, and then some raw materials. Not a ton, though. So, raw material shortage is where we're going to get hit the most, and I'll run out of reading materials fairly quickly as well. So, it is 7:53. Let's pop the window open. So 8 a.m., we're full, we're hydrated. I'm not sure what my sleep cycle is. I'm never sure when I restart a new a new episode. I always forget over the few days just what my status is. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So skill-wise, when I built the character, it was flat generic, if you didn't happen to catch the first episode. Completely generic. Brand new world, no mods, no changes whatsoever. Just straight default values for everything. Same thing with the character, including I did not spend any points anywhere. No points in stats, no skills, no nothing. So 8888, zeros for everything, no stats, no traits, no nothing. So I just tab, named them, and we jumped into the game world. So yeah, and then between that and us just not being able to kill anything, that's kind of where the challenge is on this one. I've always been curious. I've stated a few times during my challenges that I feel I am doing the best and the most effective gameplay when I have the least number of kills in the first week or so. So when I look at my character screen after like week or day 4 or 5, if it says 0, I think I have done a very, very good job. I'm not impressed by people that have hundreds of kills or 1,000 kills in the first few days. That's super easy to do. But try to advance your character and stay alive with no kills. That's more interesting to me, at this point at least. All right. T. So, what are you guys up to? Depressing food? Yeah, well, Soylent Green is people. I'm not a cannibal. Do. Too bad there's no zombie whisperer skill. I don't know. I don't know if I'd miss that. Oops. Bring that screen back over. Alright, let's move you over there. And so what are we going to do? Like I said, we spent like a day trying to learn judo and never actually managed it. I guess I'm going to wait a bit. And we're trying to learn judo because it's a very defensive skill. Not a lot of high offensive output. So I'm hopeful that I can take it and not attack anything, just use it for the counter blocks and the grab breaks and things like that, and protect me in that way without actually killing anything. Another thing I fear is zombies that have been killed and then risen. Those guys that have like half a bar of health, I might accidentally kill one of those if I'm not really careful. So I'm going to have to be turning my martial art, if we ever learn it, off and on quite a bit, I think, in order to try to minimize the danger while maximizing the protection. But we'll see when we get to that. I'll probably leave it off generally and then just flip it on in those circumstances where I think I might need it. But the no killing rule adds in some interesting options or things that I normally don't have to consider, or I normally actually do have to consider. That is things like torso encumbrance and arm encumbrance and such. If I'm never going to execute an attack, I don't care about all the negative consequences for encumbering certain body parts. I can load up on protection or carry capacity or whatever my desire is. So I'm not sure with this guy whether I would be better off focusing on a dodge-based character build or just go straight up protection to keep us safe. So go with layered gear and high armor and so on. But yeah, so I don't, whoa. Oh, never mind. So yeah, other stuff that it's just I normally have to worry quite a bit about that I don't in this one. So arm encumbrance, I don't really care. Dispersion for ranged attacks and melee stamina cost. Well, I'm never going to make a melee stamina attack or a ranged attack, so who cares? I can layer up my arms all I want. Torso has a dodge skill negative, so if I'm going to do a dodge build, I do need to pay attention to that. But the rest of it, I don't care. I'm never going to execute a melee attack or thrown attacks. So, yeah, things I have to adjust to and have to think about to maximize our protection. What I absolutely have to avoid is getting trapped between zombies. So if I'm in a hallway, for example, with a zombie on each end, I'm done. I mean, I can't kill the zombies. They're not going to fall down on their own, generally, and that would kill me. So the simple act of walking into a house or down a hallway could end the challenge in a way that I can't control. I don't have Magicalism running, so I'm not going to be able to teleport out or anything like that. So awareness and minimizing my opportunities for the zombies to plug me into an area or surround me is critical as well. So lots of interesting things to deal with. But for now, we're going to spend a little time here in camp. So 7:30. I'm not going to focus on judo right now. Let's keep working on some of these other things. I think I'm going to keep pushing tailoring. We'll get tailoring to 5 through the books. And I need food handling at least 1 more level, maybe 2. And we'll kind of see from there what else we're going to do. I thought I had a throwing book, but apparently I did not. So let's just work on tailoring first. I'm surprised I don't have any fab books. We didn't get a single... Just got the Crafty Crafters was the only fab book, huh? Yeah, that's a problem. We can take computers pretty high, but that's mostly focused on labs, and I'm still highly dubious about taking this guy into a lab. I've given it a little thought on how I would try to deal with things, but not being able to kill things, not being able to lure them into goo pits, things like that. I just... I mean, I could probably get a little bit of lab looting done, but I mean, I wouldn't likely be able to go into the barracks or the armory because I'd never get them open with the enemies in the area, unless they were the barracks was completely empty, which is possible but not likely. So if barracks and armories are out, and I don't need well, I don't need the armory anyway. There's usually not much in defensive gear there. Barracks, I'd get the soldier's gear, and again, maybe martial arts manual. Yeah, there wouldn't be much, I think, that would benefit me from the barracks and armory anyway, so I guess I shouldn't even consider that. It's just automatic habit to think about that when I go into a lab. I'm not planning on doing mutations this run. I want to stay strictly, you know, vanilla human. Cybernetics, I'm undecided on. We'll see if we get far enough to even worry about cybernetics. So that one is a maybe. It would be an interesting way to power the character up if I could pull it off. So I don't want to nix that one, but I'm definitely not doing mutations. You can't do really mutations unless you go into labs, and I just don't see a reasonable way for this guy to go get all 4 of the items. There's just no way I'd be able to do a research facility. And labs, if doing regular labs, trying to search for those 4 tools and all the materials, I just don't see it happening. So yeah, we're not gonna do any mutations. That's off the table. CBMs, sure. If we can keep the guy alive long enough and we can advance far enough, we'll look at CBMs. But those are going to be tough as well. It's like, where am I going to get the CBMs? I can't kill the zombies. They'd have to be dead when I found them, and then I could dissect them for CBMs. Or I'd have to go into labs, basically, to get CBMs. So, where am I going to get these CBMs? Yeah, that's something we'll have to consider as well. I think the chances I'm going to get access to CBMs are really, really low. But we'll see. We got a long way to go before then. That's way later talk, not current time talk. I'm aware, but it transforms them fairly significantly. We're not doing goo pit stuff on them. That smacks too much of rules lawyery justifications, so... I am not going to have an NPC buddy. I never have NPC buddies. And as I stated at the top of the hour, we are not going to find rules lawyery, side conditions, secondary effect ways of executing enemies that I can take advantage of. You guys feel free to do your own challenges and figure out your own rules. But this is a obey the letter and the spirit of the pacifist challenge, not just the letter. So let's do some reading while I talk. Yeah, let's just do some reading. Nope, not even a puppy buddy. I can't stand the NPC system, period. I don't care if we're talking dogs, horses, NPCs, none of it. They all drive me bonkers. I've done them to death in the past. I've tried. They just do not work at my level of play. I'm sorry. I can't make the game both interesting from a challenging me standpoint and be able to utilize the NPCs. They're just 2 big suicide idiot monkeys that do not obey their own rules instruction sets. And I can't be bothered with it. It's just, it drives me insane every single time I try. You guys will not be enjoying the stream anytime I'm trying to interact with any form of the NPC system. So I'm happy for the folks that enjoy it and want to play with those things, but I can't do it. They can't move like me. They can't do things like me. They can't obey their own instructions. I can't keep them alive. And it's just no thanks. It's just a nightmare of tedium and irritation whenever I try to interact with the NPC system. Pitbull Mix spotted. Stop reading. No. God damn it. Here we go. Get out of my line of sight, Pitbull Mix. I don't want to set an exception for you, damn it. I am hungry, thirsty, and tired. Ah, the Pitbull's back again. Ignore the stupid Pitbull. Ignore it forever and ever. Amen. Alright, tailoring to 4. Took most of the day to get tailoring to 4. Very hungry, very thirsty, and tired. We got plenty of water. We went and got a 60-liter tank of water, so we got no problem there. I see we're still listing everything in individual pieces, which drives me bonkers. Please, 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 please stop doing this. I mean, come on. They have a shelf life of indefinite. Stack the bastards. I can understand if they have difference to shelf lives or, I mean, some kind of timer function or they're going rotten on different timers or whatever. But things that are indefinite, please stack them. I mean, yeah, this is bottled water, individual bottle, and so on. But, oh man, this is just making these screens so annoying. Alright. Yeah, Vorm makes a friend and immediately regrets it. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Didn't that NPC blow out my vehicle welding rig when he did that? I'm trying to remember just what he shot, but that's the reason why. One of many reasons why. Unload every single wrapper. Oh, that sounds like a fun process. That's much better. That just fixes things instantly. I have to go unload 79 individual wrappers. Do they still have indefinite shelf lives after I uninstall them from their wrappers? Or are they only indefinite while sealed in their wrappers? Let's we're tired, we're gonna sleep soon, so we'll go ahead and we'll tank up on some of these, you know, super yummy-licious protein rations. Go ahead and read a little bit longer, get some room in our belly. We'll just read till the light goes, or the Pitbull mix causes me to go berserk and end my pacifist run. As I go explain to that Pitbull that he really doesn't need to be shuffling back and forth in the 3 spaces of lit line of sight that I've got in my entire damn base. That he's being really, really annoying. Alright, I don't want water, so I'm gonna scroll the list 1,000,000 times to go find my water. Alright, we are full. Wait a few more minutes, have one more protein ration. We are full and slaked. And I think we'll just go to sleep. We'll get an early bedtime. We did some really tough reading today. Are we weary from reading? No, we're not weary. I'll try to keep this moving as fast as I can. In the meantime, if anybody has questions, as I always say in my live streams, I'm happy to answer questions. New players, old players, medium players, whoever. If you got a question, feel free to drop it in chat. I'll try to catch it and answer it to the best of my ability. I definitely don't know everything, and I have forgotten many things that I just don't use very often. But usually I'll at least have a semi-moderately informed opinion I can offer, if not an outright answer. Questions about farming and handloading ammo are especially welcome. That's my specialty. 7:30 a.m. Let's see. What do you think? Is the pit bull mix still hanging out there in that little tiny sliver of light that I can see? He's just going to keep walking back and forth out here, demonstrating just how annoying the interruption system is. I have no idea what you mean by the weird stomach fullness versus hunger still a thing. So hunger works perfectly fine for everybody that actually bothers to know how it works. Everybody else is just a big fat whiner that's just too lazy to learn the system. I kid. Sometimes there are issues, but the food system has worked fine for quite a while. It is honestly a lack of understanding that 99% of the problems that people report. It's very simple. There are two different things being reported poorly. So the feedback system to the player and the messaging to the player is really the problem. The food system itself, it's fine. It works fine. Everybody says, well, make it go back to the old days. They don't actually remember the old days. It was flat out stupid in the old days. You would get so hungry, you would literally have to eat a horse in order to not be hungry anymore. And you could. You could put 4,000 pounds of meat in your belly in one sitting. It was so stupid. So the people that want it to go back to the old way are just really out of touch. But yeah, it's two different things being reported. And as long as you understand that there are two conditions being reported, you can kind of puzzle things out. Here's what you need to know about the hunger system. Bring up your screen here and look at this. Weight. Typically, you want this to say overweight. The reason I say that is because there are certain CBMs and certain other things that will not function unless you have a high enough body weight. You have enough calories stored in your body to use them. So the metabolic interchange, for example, it'll stop working at some point, even when it says normal weight, because you need a surplus of calories in your body. Otherwise, it shuts down to prevent from starving to death. So I recommend generally you keep the weight in the overweight category. You get a very, very tiny, unnoticeable negative effect to your character, but it's the simplest way to keep yourself from ever having food problems. Start from the very first day, actually eating more than you may think you need to. Don't wait until you start seeing scary messages, because that's when things get really confusing, because you're getting told that you need to eat more calorie-dense food. And then the immediate next thing people say in Discord and Reddit and everything else is, but I've got a full belly. They have nothing to do with each other. Your full belly does not mean that you instantly gained 50 pounds of body weight. All it did was fill your belly and make the hungry message go away. So you got to understand there's two different things going on. Some of the messaging is specific to your total body weight. Some of the messaging is specific to your belly status, your stomach capacity. So when you have certain combinations of body weight and stomach capacity, you get the very hungry message. Very hungry basically means you are both below your main calorie count, your normal body weight calorie count, and you have some capacity in your stomach, so fill it. But you're going to need to keep filling it for a long time, because once you go to these underweight statuses and you start getting these messages, it's not a fill your belly and it's fixed problem. It's a fill your belly for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then it's going to be a fixed problem. So there's not anything really weird about the system. It's just understand that you need to be eating more than you think you might right from the get-go. Don't rely on the messages to actually tell you when to eat, because that's when you get in trouble. There is a bit of a newbie trap involved in the food system in that it's not really letting you know you're shedding overall body weight at a pretty quick rate until you start getting messages, which then become mildly confusing because you can't really tell what it's telling you unless you understand the system. So I've had the food chat so many times, but like I said, just to be simple, look at your body weight. If it says normal or less or worse, you need to be eating a lot. Eat more often, eat every single time you can, and eat the most calorie-dense food you can. What we mean by that is this satiety column. This is basically a measure of how dense the calorie is per liter or per portion of a liter in your body. So volume basically and calorie count. So you could eat a piece of lettuce and you could fill your entire stomach with lettuce. It's not going to have any calories. You're not going to gain body weight. You'll make the message go away because your stomach will have something in it, but that's very temporary, and you're not going to make any gains on actually getting your body weight up. So you need to find foods that have high calorie and low volume. That way, when you have 5 liters of space in your stomach, or whatever the number is, you can stuff 20,000 calories in there in one go, not 500 calories of some food that's very bulky but very low calorie. So you need to be eating high density calorie foods for a long period of time until you get this general body weight up. Once you've got this back up to the high end of normal or into the overweight category, then you're going to stop getting those other messages. Anything about your stomach is just basically it telling you that you need to eat something. You've got nothing in your belly. So you got to kind of balance the two things. You got the body weight and you've got your stomach capacity. And understanding which messages mean you need to pay attention to what is important. But just understand from day one, from the instant you start the game, be eating things. Because you are going to burn calories at a faster rate than you think. And since the game doesn't actually tell you your specific weight, you just have these very generic categories, it's hard to know that you've shed 50 pounds until the messages start hitting you. Can you ignore the stomach capacity if your weight is high? Sure you can. Play an XXXL start where you start morbidly obese. You don't have to eat for weeks. You could just totally ignore food for weeks. You still want to hydrate because you need the water. That'll definitely cause some negative effects. But you can completely ignore weight for weeks while that body weight sheds. But try to keep your body in overweight status. Get it to overweight, leave it in overweight. If you see normal, start shoving food down at a faster rate until it goes back to overweight. And then just try to hold it there. That's really the only thing you have to do. And then understand the consequences when you take certain traits like fast metabolism, very fast metabolism, extreme metabolism, all that kind of stuff. Because the burn rate goes way, way up. The fast metabolism is no longer the feel-good trait for advanced players that know that they got a stamina boost for no real consequence. It actually has a fairly major consequence now. So the burn rate goes up massively, and you've got to stuff a lot of food in your face. So there are negatives to having a super overweight status, so don't go overboard. You don't want to be morbidly obese. That pegs your health stat at the lowest possible value, negative 200. So you don't want to do that unless you're specifically doing it for a challenge purpose. But in the normal gameplay, the overweight status has very negligible, unnoticeable effects, and it will keep you from getting all the annoying messaging. The stomach warnings are always what confuses people. I freely admit it's confusing unless you understand what's going on. Two different things are occurring, two different things are generating these messages, and when you understand what's happening, it all works fine. The numbers, we can argue about everybody's caloric burn rate and metabolism and all that crap. You're never going to get anybody to agree on all that stuff. There's no one true value or one true rate or so on. But it's a good approximation. It prevents all of the old, really, really idiotic nonsense that the food system used to have. And it works well enough. So it's going to need tuning. It always is going to need tuning, especially with the activity levels now being involved and the weariness system and everything else. But that's why we're in experimental. That's exactly why we're in experimental. So all of this stuff can be hammered out to some degree before we roll it out to all those silly people that just play stable for whatever reason. Those folks that don't understand how to back up their save file and are scared to death of experimental because of all the horror stories they get told in the Discord. Man, those annoy me. That's a different subject. I've been sitting here doing nothing long enough. So, speech complete. Let's see. We just woke up, right? I need other foods. Let's have some brownies. Let's see. My unsealed foods. Yep, my brownies are still first up. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just slam down some brownies. Nope, that's enough. Keep reading. Oh my god, this stupid pit bull! Oh man. That is so annoying. Stop reading. Close that one, open that one. Oh, there's another pit bull! They're just hanging out, just in my area, just to annoy me. Oh, that's hilarious. We'll go back to Pitbull number 1, I guess. So, if I sound frustrated about the hunger system, it's not because of the hunger system. It's because I've had this hunger conversation a million times. And it literally is just people not understanding what's actually happening. Or not taking the time to research or ask somebody who actually knows what's happening. And if you really want to understand what's going on, feel free to use the debug menu and check your character stats. So go to player, go to edit player, go to you, and then is it needs? Yeah, it's needs. So right there, stored kcal. That is my body weight. That is my stored kcalories. So that is what all these messages are based off of in regards to the hunger system and your body weight. Not your hunger and such is different. That's your stomach, and I don't think it actually shows stomach capacity anywhere. I don't remember. But this is your stored body weight. So when it hits a certain value and you have room in your stomach, you get the very hungry message. So very hungry means you're below a certain threshold on your overall body weight, your starting normal body weight, and you have, in combination with that, room in your stomach for a candy bar or any kind of food. So when you start to see hungry, that's just your belly needs some food. Very hungry is the trigger saying you've dropped a certain percentage. I think it's 80%. I forget the exact number. Maybe it's 90%. If you're at 90% of your starting body weight or 80%, there's certain hard-coded benchmarks for how that works. But you can always come here and check your actual body weight, your actual kcal number, and go from there. Let's have some water. Always hydrate first. Then wait a little bit. Let your stomach process. We'll go a little longer, and then we'll have our food. Not protein rations. Back to the brownies. Alright, it's already getting late in the day. Oh, we hit tailoring 5. Alright, so we're done with tailoring. Look at that. Don't need nails in my inventory either. What do we got next? I want at least one more food handling. Oh, we need to get the healthcare up as well. Alright, we'll do healthcare first. Too dark to read, and we're tired again. So the real challenge here is going to be, in the time it takes me to read all these books and so on, we're going to advance evolution fairly substantially. And then my pacifist ass is going to be waltzing through cities with predators and all that fun stuff. Good times, good times. Oh, we'll just go straight to sleep again. Yep. The constantly telling you you're hungry thing is just triggered by your overall body weight being low. It's going to continue to tell you those things until you regain a substantial amount of body weight. And the thing to consider is you could be eating 5,000 calories a day, which sounds great. But if you're burning 4,500 calories a day, your overall progress to gaining the body weight to get back above that percentage is going to be very, very small. It might take you a week of that kind of setup to recover it. If you squat in place and drink vegetable oil and nothing else for a few days, that'll usually take care of the problem. Is it vegetable oil? I'm trying to remember now. I think it's vegetable oil. Vegetable cooking oil. Calories 127. Which one am I thinking of? It is cooking oil, isn't it? Oops. Oops. All right. Reset. Dang it, I can't see the bottom of my screen because the way I have things set up. Oh, well, I was looking in the wrong place anyway. Wow, a lot of things with oil in it. Animal cooking oil? Maybe it's animal cooking oil. Yeah, look at the satiety level. So it doesn't look like a lot of calories, but that's not the important thing. It's how much volume it takes up. So this indicates that it's a very high calorie to volume content. So you could drink tons and tons of this stuff before your stomach fills up, and you get a huge amount of calories. So, but yeah, just realize your activity level and your burn rate is subtracted from your gains for calories. And if you've been ignoring the food things or not been noticing and not really been eating much until the messages start to show up, it's going to be a while. You're going to have to keep eating for quite a while in order to recover and get rid of all of those annoying messages. But it has nothing to do with you're getting those messages because your overall body weight is low. You fill your stomach with whatever. That's an immediate solution, but doesn't solve the long-term problem. Okay, so no more talk about the stupid food system. Oh, my fiddleheads went rotten. I am sad. I have achieved peak sadness. My fiddleheads are gone. Let's just wait in place for daylight. 1 minute and 52 seconds. Well, we'll wait 30 minutes, because that's how long it's actually going to. Back to reading my healthcare book. Oh, wait. Oh, I have been remiss. You guys should have been chastising me. I need my harmonica. I need to activate my harmonica. Oh, yeah. We're going to jam to some tunes while we study our book. And we had our brownies, so we're all pumped up on happy brownie food. Well, apparently now we're not pumped up on happy brownie food. Let's get pumped up on some more happy brownie food. Are the brownies still giving me happiness? We might... Oh, no! We've had too many brownies. Oh, no. I guess we'll have some cheese. We're still going to get some out of cheese. And we'll have some chocolate-covered pretzels. There we go. Now we've got some happiness going. We are comfy. We've got our cheese and chocolate-covered pretzels. And we've got our music. Why do I do that, new players might ask? Well, it's because of the morale system controlling the focus system. We're trending to 117 focus. We're currently at 94 focus. And the focus value is a direct multiplier for your experience, how much experience you get. So right now I'd get 94% experience for any activity. And it's going to drop drastically as I read. There's no real way to counter that. So I don't often really care about all these morale bonus things. You'll usually see me just totally ignoring it. But I turn it on just so I can explain to people how it works. And then you guys can make your own value judgments on whether it's worth the idly time that you spend trying to keep that focus value up. I agree with you, Webgun, but somebody made the decision that when you eat the same thing too many times, you lose the joy value. I'm not sure how long that remains true. Does it come back relatively quickly? No, I'm still zeroed out on brownie joy. I can't imagine it's permanent. That would be pretty rough. To never get joy from eating brownies again. But I don't know what the actual time... I've never paid attention to the time value because I don't normally care. It's just, I long ago gave up fiddling with my morale mostly. I just do it nowadays to educate new players that may not be aware of how that system works. I don't personally find it too useful when I'm just mass studying, and I stopped doing it a while back. But if you're going to do it, this is what you're looking for, is you're looking at the joy value. And you got to combine that with the calories and with whether it's sealed or not, and if you're worried about the shelf life or spoilage and all that kind of stuff. But I'm looking for happiness values. So Pop-Tarts are awesome. Toastums, there's 3 different kinds of Toastums, plus 10, plus 15, and plus 20, and you can have one of each and get the massive Toastum bonus. Hey, let's have a chocolate drink. There you go. So we're trending to 112. We're at 60, which is what reading that book dropped us to. And it would take me hours to get this to go back up to 112, during which time I would not be reading, which is why I just don't bother anymore. If you're going to be reading constantly, I just don't find that the tiny, tiny amount of focus gain that you get is worth all of the time and effort that you spend. I think if I just kept reading at 60, I would gain more over the long period than if I waited for a couple hours to raise my focus and then continued reading, because the XP I miss from waiting for my focus to go up, you kind of see what I mean, I hope, but I just don't like the fiddliness of it anymore. I don't find it of value. I wish this would stop defaulting to the middle of that damn screen. Let's hydrate up again. And keep reading. Pudding plus 20? Yeah, pudding's good too. Do you get negative joy? I don't think you ever get negative joy. It just drops to 0. Kind of makes sense you'd start getting negative joy. I mean, if I ate the exact same thing over and over and over again, I would eventually start resenting it and start maybe having some hard feelings towards the food. But we're not tired yet. How can this be? I can't go to sleep now. Let's go ahead and turn on a candle. Love me the candles. Candles are awesome. Always grab candles in the early game until you have a more permanent solution or some other method. Sure beats trying to get firewood going. Using up that resource. And if we're going to go candle power, we're going to turn that off. Alright, we're tired. It's midnight. I don't want to lose my daylight reading options, so we'll go ahead and turn that off. We'll try to stay as close as possible to the read all day long with the natural light. We'll stop harmonicizing while we sleep. See, I'm still only normal weight. I need to eat more. Gotta get myself back to overweight. Especially since I am a pacifist and I can't just go out and use my Barrett 50 cow to persuade a cow to die of old age. And then grill up some nice cow burgers. So I am on a strictly found food diet. I gotta be careful just how much of my stockpile I consume before I go out again. 8:30, time for some more natural light. And as I mentioned, always hydrate first. Satisfied. Keep reading. Once we've got some room in our belly, we'll eat some more. Or when we finish this book. There we go. Not proteins. Actually, I do need to eat the protein, but yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We'll have a couple of those. So we're done with another book. Yay us. Oh, I must have nails and auto pickup. I do have nails and auto pickup. That's why they keep ending up in my inventory. I keep dropping them and then stepping and picking them up again. Alright, what are we up to? Food handling. I do want at least one more level of. Time to start making a farm? Nah. The problem is the challenge will be over long before I could ever actually, you know, harvest. So it's still... wait, has something changed with wheat availability, by the way? I saw somebody commenting in one of the Discord channels about wheat no longer being available. I don't know if that means the silos are empty now, or it's the raw wheat on the fields that is gone, or both, or what? Has anybody seen or noticed anything about that? I asked because that was another of the super major food things that you, if you knew about it, you could just subsist on literally forever with very little to no effort. With pine nuts being gone, and now if that's also gone, that's two pretty hugely major food sources that will have been quietly disappeared. I think I'm going to slam down a bunch of protein bars before I go to sleep tonight. Try to catch our calorie count up a bit. We'll do one more group. Oh, still full. Come on. Come on. Damn it. I don't want to be here too. There we go. We should get at least one, maybe two more in our belly. Nope, one more. Alright, well that was like 3,000 calories at the end of the day there, plus whatever I ate during the day, so hopefully that will catch us up a little bit. And of course it massively, well I guess not massively, it tanks my morale, because the nasty food. Depressing food! Oh, I'm not tired again? What the heck? I thought I was tired. So, no, there will be no making a farm. It's odd for my challenges to even make it to the end of spring, so I just, because I know the game too well, I can do whatever I want and achieve whatever I want in a time scale that really doesn't incorporate farming in any useful fashion. Oh, we're still hydrated, are we? Alright, finish off our brownies. Last of the brownies. Cheese. Up, can't fit the cheese. So there's food handling 2. I'm going to take it to 3. I think that's probably as high as I'll go. Pretty much. There's a lot of food in the world. There's food available in the wilderness, too, that I could take advantage of. We might be able to find some dead cows. I mean, if I go visit the dairy farms, if the zows have killed the cows, and I can lead the zows away, then I can go back and butcher a cow, or, you know, there's opportunity food. I can't kill any animals, but we can get some other stuff. A little harder in springtime than it would be in summer, but there's still so much food in the game world that we're just going to scavenge for it, most likely. Doesn't take too many trips to some well-stocked kitchens, house kitchens, currently, to get food for quite a bit as well. That command is the one I want. What are we down to? So we know the protein ration list is long, but the rest of this, I don't have a lot of options, especially the unsealed stuff. I mean, we're at 4 weeks, so nothing's in danger of going bad on me anytime soon. But the amount of non-sealed calories, other than the protein rations, is getting pretty thin. So I can subsist on the protein rations. And visiting other evac shelters will mean I can do it forever, but I think there should be some kind of toxicity build-up to protein rations. Maybe there is, and I just don't remember it or haven't seen it yet. But on a 1.0 item drop rate, I mean, I got 80 or 90 out of a single first aid or single evac shelter. That seems pretty excessive. Oh, graham cracker, pretzel. Yeah, I should have hydrated first, as usual. So, it's getting dark again, but we're not tired. Let's go back to the candle. Yeah, there it is. So, there's food handling 3. That's all I care about for now. And what's next? Good old computers. Stream announcement exists, other than the fact that I had the wrong game and such set up for the stream announcement. Stopped the stream and started a new one. That probably caused some problem. Do. Alright, we are hydrated. Let's see. Day 70. So 9 days. We've survived 9 days in the Cataclysm as a perfect pacifist. So we had our adventure down south here. I have no use for the gun store. Restaurants, mildly useful. The garage could have something useful, and it'd be a pretty easy place to get to. We know this house is clear last time we left, so I could probably get a peek into that garage. But I can't see much else without coming down here in the daylight, which is super dangerous. And we'd have to drive north across the stadium and the Migo Tower in between those two things, which could be problematic. Or try to sneak down this corner. But we've got a path up north with a road that I think I would rather try out. So I think pretty soon we're gonna take a drive. Actually, we'll do it tomorrow. So we got our tailoring skill up. I did want to make that balaclava, so let's get that done. Balaclava. Alright, we'll wear our balaclava. That should take care of our temp problem on our face. Our arms are a little warm. Yeah, we got a bit on our arms with those 2 geese. Plus the leather jacket, plus the arm guards. So, that's fine. It'll cool off when we're outside, out and about. What else can I make? So we've got our tailoring up high enough that I could do things like high volume rucksack and hiking backpack. The problem is they've all now been converted over to the proficiency system. Ooh, hiking backpack takes the tool with an awl, so I'm still missing basic tools. I don't have fab of any kind, really, so I'm not going to have too many recipes for crafting things like that, but let's look for... whoops, that's not how that's spelled. That requires the awl. Actually, I want... not required to craft. Yeah, I don't have any tools that I can make that give the awl quality. So yeah, the better ones I just am not going to get any remote close to with all of these proficiencies that are now required and high numbers of string. So unless we find a tailoring basement, most of this really good stuff is going to be out of reach. I mean, even the lowly duffel bag is going to take just ridiculous amounts of stuff. Cotton sheets I can do, but 12 short strings. I mean, I've got a long rope I could disassemble into quite a few long strings and short strings, but that doesn't solve the overall problem.